So Tucker Carlson went after Ilhan Omar in a really stupid and sick kind of way. Let's watch and then we'll discuss. Now, I want to tell everybody up front here, I looked to try to find the original clip where it includes the stuff he said before he said this, but I couldn't find it. So all that there is this, and we can kind of infer what he was saying before based on the ending here. But let's take a look and then we'll come back and discuss.
Omar isn't disappointed in America. She's enraged by it. Virtually every public statement she makes accuses Americans of bigotry and racism. This is an immoral country, she says. She has undisguised contempt for the United States and for its people. That should worry you, and not just because Omar is now a sitting member of Congress. Ilhan Omar is living proof that the way we practice immigration has become dangerous to this country. A system designed to strengthen America is instead undermining it. Some of the very people we try hardest to help have come to hate us passionately. Maybe that's our fault for asking too little of our immigrants. We aren't self-confident enough to make them assimilate so they never feel fully American. Or maybe the problem is deeper than that. Maybe we're importing people from places whose values are simply antithetical to ours. Who knows what the problem is? But there is a problem. And whatever the cause, this cannot continue. It's not sustainable. No country can import large numbers of people who hate it and expect to survive. The Romans were the last to try that with predictable results. So be grateful for Ilhan Omar, annoying as she is. She's a living fire alarm, a warning to the rest of us that we better change our immigration system immediately or else.
The idea that Ilhan Omar is proof that our immigration is, quote, dangerous, as he said, or that she hasn't assimilated, is beyond ridiculous. Dude, she's a congresswoman. That's like the definition of assimilation. I'm an American, and I ran to be a representative in our democracy, and I won. It can't get more assimilated than that. That is incredible. That's as American as it gets. You're an elected representative for Americans. What are you talking about? The idea that she's proof that our immigration system is dangerous. Why would you say she's dangerous? What are you talking about? See, this is why people say you're a bigot, because you say shit like this. Dangerous? What do you mean dangerous? Are you kidding me? Ilhan Omar couldn't hurt a fly. Now, you may have disagreements with her ideology. Okay, have those disagreements, have those discussions. But to basically accuse her of, like, trying to take down America, or she's dangerous and she hasn't assimilated, and are these immigrants' values antithetical to our own? So you know what that means? What he's trying to say is, hey man, maybe all these people of color that were led into the country, their values are antithetical, which means there's no hope for them. They can't agree to Western values, so what are we doing? Why are we allowing these people into the country? Look at the mindset. The mindset is, you have to think a certain way and believe a certain way in order for me to consider you American. But I thought the whole hokey idea of America was supposed to be freedom. Yes, freedom. So if you believe in freedom, Tucker, then people who come to this country are allowed to believe whatever they want to believe. Whatever they want to believe. Because you're supposed to believe in freedom, right? You're supposed to say, what do you mean? We let people have the ability to choose what they want to believe, what they don't want to believe, what they're in favor of, what they're not in favor of. So what does that mean? The values are antithetical. He's trying to say they're beyond hope. And we can't let them in because they're undermining this country simply by existing. And he also says about Ilhan Omar, she hates this country. She hates this country. And what's so frustrating about a guy like Tucker is that if I made the same arguments that Ilhan Omar made, let's say I was debating Tucker, and I made the same arguments that Ilhan Omar would make, he might disagree with me. In fact, I know he would disagree with many of the stuff I would say. But he wouldn't then turn around and argue that I hate this country. Because I would get the benefit of the doubt. Because I'm a white dude. So he would accept, even though I disagree with Kyle, he's saying from his perspective, these are our faults in this country, and this is how we should try to improve it. But if Ilhan Omar says the same thing, all of a sudden, she hates this country and she's beyond hope and her values are, quote, antithetical to being here and she hasn't assimilated, even though she's a congresswoman, and she's proof that our immigration system is dangerous. The funniest part of this is many of the criticisms that Ilhan Omar has for America are the same criticisms Tucker has of America, specifically on the issue of foreign policy. Ilhan Omar is against illegal and offensive wars, and she's upfront about that, and she's vocal about that. You want to know why? Because she's right. Because she's right. And Tucker Carlson has made many of those same criticisms. But when Tucker makes those criticisms, he knows, oh, well, even though I'm criticizing America, that doesn't mean that, I hate America, man, or it's America, love it or leave it. Get out of here if you're gonna criticize this country. Go live somewhere else. He doesn't think that about himself because he thinks, well, I'm me. I know I'm just trying to improve the country and make better decisions. But when Ilhan Omar says many of the same stuff, it's, how could you? This is hate. These values are antithetical to our country. She hasn't assimilated. It's really disgusting, man. Now, I don't know. Again, I tried to find the full clip. I couldn't find the full clip. It looks like he's responding to something that Ilhan Omar said. I don't know exactly what she was critical of, but the thing at the bottom said that she says America is racist, cruel, and unjust. Again, so if I bring up, hey, we've had segregation in this country, we did have slavery way back in the day, but we did have it. So to say the country is founded on racism, I mean, that's not to say that that's the only thing it's founded on, but that certainly is one of the things that it's founded on, and that's really not debatable. This is one of those things where all the hard asses on the right who love to call people on the left snowflakes, but all of a sudden they become snowflakes when you bring up something that's a politically incorrect truth, like, hey, just saying, we were kind of founded on slavery, and then we did kind of have segregation until the fucking mid-1960s, and even after then it was still happening even though it wasn't on the books. So, to point that out, that's true. You might not like it. You might say, oh, you're going back in the past too far. Okay, fair enough, but it's true. And act like she can't say it, well, then you're being silly, and you're being a snowflake, and you don't care, or you want to avoid politically incorrect truths. And the idea that we're cruel. I mean, listen, you said it yourself, you're against the Iraq War. What do you think that was? That is like the definition of cruel. It was an illegal offensive war against a country that didn't attack us, that killed absolute minimum, 200,000 civilians. Could have been anywhere as high as over 1 million. I mean, to say we're unjust, you can make an argument we're unjust just solely based on the fact that we have working poor is an actual category in this country. You could say that alone is enough to justify the comment that America's unjust. 30 to 40 million Americans not having health care. That's unjust. Wages not budging, adjusted for inflation, since the 1980s. That's unjust. Productivity going up. The line for productivity going up and wages stagnating. That's unjust. So he's saying that, listen, if you're an immigrant or if you're a person of color, you basically have to blow America 24/7 and act like America's so undone every way. Or you're un-American, you're anti-American, you're a hater, you have values that are antithetical to this country, and you need to assimilate. And that's just total bullshit, man. That there is no like Manchurian candidate conspiracy of immigrants coming in this country to like undermine it and take it down. Okay, and that's like the undertone you get here from what Tucker Carlson is saying. You can disagree with Ilhan Omar if you want, Tucker, but to cloak it in this obvious bullshittery is just grotesque.